Alex, thank you.
Now, if you've been scanning the TV listings for highlights of England's World Cup qualifying match tonight, we have the match action coming up in a few minutes. But the failure of broadcasters to show the highlights to everyone has disappointed millions of fans. Tim Hewitt reports on the big row over the big match.
For most football fans, the only way to watch the match was to go to the pub. Setanta has just 3 million subscribers. Even the highlights aren't available to everyone, and that's generated a growing anger. At last week's game against Andorra, there were anti-Setanta chants from travelling supporters. Tonight, Setanta are unscrambling their signal for the highlights programme later, and say 21 million people will be able to watch that without paying. Nevertheless, there's still no deal with a terrestrial broadcaster.
The best offer we had on the table yesterday was only 3 or 4% of what we've paid for this match, and we think it's a ridiculously low offer.
That with sustained attack, the goals
highlights of important England games have been on TV since the 60s when England won the World Cup. So why not now? It's understood Setanta were offered £500,000 for tonight's highlights by ITV.
Are they being greedy or are you being stingy?
Well, we made a very substantial offer for these rights, one that we would argue is above market rate. We've improved our offer a number of times and Setanta have rejected that offer.
Some sporting events are protected by the Broadcasting Act. Crown jewels that must be shown on terrestrial TV include the Olympic Games, the FA Cup Final and the World Cup, Wimbledon and the Grand National. The FA has sold the rights for England home games to ITV for £144 million. They don't control away matches, but many fans believe it's time the world's football authorities started to pay rather more attention to supporters and rather less to making money. Tim Hewitt, News at 10 at the Football Association.